Hey, everybody. Good evening and welcome. What's up, friends, family, and fans? You are listening to the Eternal Impacts Live It Out live stream with John Garrick, here with my favorite human being, enemy to no one, my high school sweetheart, wife of 31 years, Jennifer Garrick. We are unapologetically here to lift up the ways of Jesus, promote grace, and learn and to think and to live like Jesus Christ of Nazareth. We believe in a triune God who loves us and calls us not merely to hear good news, but we aspire to live out that good news where we live, work, and play. And so that's it. This is it. The first launch of our live stream. Thanks for being a part of it. We're seeing friends coming on there.
Good to see Addie on there and Rhonda. Nice to have you
Rhonda,
joining us.
It's been a long time since we have seen you, so I just say a big hello. Oh, you know what? We've got some kind of weird thing on there from another show. Look at that. That's kind of a weird deal. I got to get that off there. What's that going? Okay, see, There's going to be things we learn the whole time. It's going to be beautiful. So yeah, but fun to see Rhonda. Also, Addie, you were saying that the popcorn, where's the popcorn? Sorry. You're going to have to bring your own popcorn to this. But
hopefully you got it in time.
Maybe that'd be a fun thing to do, to like deliver popcorn on a surprise to someone we knew was going to be on. That would be kind of cool. And of course, Faye and Jim, you said you're both there. That's exciting.
Thanks for identifying which one we were speaking to.
That's right. Last time when they were doing a test, it was just Faye. And so she identified they are both here. And so, yeah, very fun to see people coming on board. And Ben, I see you there. You are live. Yes, we are.
Woohoo!
We are live. So pretty excited. Oh, Janae. Checking things out from Jimmy O's, our favorite restaurant here in Oregon City, for a few minutes. Very fun. Glad you got to swing on. So very cool. Very cool. Fun to do. There'll be other people coming on. I see. Oh my goodness. Hope is here from
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, maybe Jonathan and those
Hope.
Beautiful kids are there as well. This says, Ben just said, we're not seeing you on YouTube. I don't know what that means.
Uh-oh.
Someone else, give us a shout out from YouTube if
I'm
you're
seeing us on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, try again.
Yeah, let's someone let us know if you're seeing us on YouTube, because we're getting messages from YouTube and from Facebook. So let's see although only you're seeing us on YouTube, because I don't know, maybe we don't have a lot of messages from YouTube, but we'll go as we can.
We're learning.
Yeah, we're learning. We'll figure this out.
Either way,
it should be broadcast right now to YouTube. So let's talk about that just briefly. We're gonna do a little housekeeping here. We're broadcasting tonight on 3 platforms, really 2 platforms and 3 areas. One is Eternal Impact's Facebook page. I know some are coming from that right now. So Eternal Impact's Facebook page, as well as my personal profile page, is being broadcast there. So hello, friends that are out there. And then Eternal Impact's YouTube channel. It should be broadcasting on YouTube. And we hope that it is. So we'll live and learn. If it's not happening tonight, that's all right. And then, of course, if you want to be able to know just exactly where it's at anytime the channels, just go to eternalimpact.org/livestream, and it will be live streaming, not there, but you can click either the Facebook page or you can Facebook, you can figure that out. So we did just get and this is what's going to happen. Sometimes this happens that we're not, for some reason, on YouTube. Says, I can see both you guys are golden. Thank you for that, Addie. I appreciate that. But it says you guys are on YouTube. Yeah, you guys are on YouTube. Okay, thank you, Addie, for doing a double check. Now, someone sent us a message through YouTube, and just to make sure that we're getting some messages on there, that would be great. And another welcome to some family from Montana. Hey, how cool. Dave Burcham, miss you, bro. Glad you're joining us tonight. And I see Mom showing up from Washington shorelines of Ocean Park, Washington. So thank you for being here. And then Ben just confirmed we are on YouTube. Okay, so we're there.
Okay,
hey,
it's official.
We were getting a little worried. We're like, what is going on? But so we're learning. But because of Facebook limitations, just so you know, when you're on Facebook, you can only see the Facebook comments on Facebook. But if you're on YouTube, it's our understanding that on YouTube, you can see all the comments. So even if someone's commenting on Facebook or YouTube, or you can see all the comments. And then
so you'll get the full meal deal.
Yeah, the full meal deal. And we're getting that as well because our software is bringing in everybody's comments, and that's how we're able to show them up, on the screen. Like when we see, Ben says, this is from YouTube, we can know where that message is. So, So just want to get you on.
Throughout the show, we're going to be calling on you guys to respond. We might throw out a question. We'll be looking for answers. And to help us out, when we have you answering something, we want you to put in a capital A with a colon and then write your answer. And if you have a question, put a capital Q with a colon and then write your question. That way we can quickly scroll through all of our comments as they're coming in and be able to talk about your answers and your questions. So to practice this, let's give it a try, shall we?
Okay.
I mean, a lot of you have already sent in your comments, but tell us where in the world you are viewing from tonight. So put your A colon and then write down where in the world you're watching us.
Okay, A colon. And the reason for that is, right, that when we're in studio or for our software, we can, very good, by the way, Addie, she puts in there, just in case she's giving instructions. So we're on A for answers, Q for questions. Very good. Thank you.
Front of the class,
That's
Addie.
right. But the reason we do that is because then we can search by a Q or an A. And so if we're like giving away a prize or we're, doing something, we can search that quickly. It's fine when it's just a handful of us right now. I'm not sure how many, maybe it looks like 20-ish people are on right now with us. But if that as that audience grows, and we're wanting to search, it helps us to be able to do that. And so we'll just kind of get into that culture and that rhythm of doing that. So yeah, put the A for A colon. A great example is Addie. Good job. Addie's good. She's diligent. She might need to be our producer.
Top of the class.
Yeah, she's good. So Addie's got on there Oregon, and she's excited about it because she, that's right, has a lot of exclamation points. And then Jim and Faye, they just moved to Arizona, so they're coming to us from Florence, Arizona. And Ben Clifton, of course, is just on the Clifton Acres.
You could walk here, Ben.
That's right. Well, it's
you're close
not
enough.
by the time we're done, probably.
No.
But Clifton Acres outside Oregon City. We've got the office chair. I like everyone's description. Hope says the office chair at my desk. It's not just going to be Georgia outside of
it's the
Atlanta.
Georgia office chair.
But it's an office chair at my desk. That's very cute. And Rhonda is coming from Burns, Oregon. So that's fun. I did not know, Rhonda, that you were in Burns. So that's cool. Burns, Oregon. So that's a few of the people we got to cover. Oh, wow, Jennifer Richmond Welch. Look at that.
Hey, Jennifer.
Oh, man, she's coming from Newberg, Oregon. And Jennifer, how fun to see you on here. Have not seen you face to face in probably 30 years. Is it 30?
It's been a while.
Oh, my gosh. I don't
Long
know.
time.
We're old. But grew up together in youth group and that. So very cool. Fun to have you here as well. And super fun. So thanks for joining us tonight. So good. Well, while those comments are coming in, I want to just remind you to take this opportunity, if you could, hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, or the bell, which gives you reminders. Not only is it good for the reminders for you that the show is going to be coming weekly, but it also helps us. It helps us know who's engaging. It helps us develop the algorithms and that, which I don't really understand, to be honest with you, totally. But it does help when people subscribe to that channel. And when you get a certain amount of people subscribing and following, then it allows you more tools and functionality that would be super helpful. So yeah, if you could just make sure to ring that bell and to push subscribe. And also, if you give it a thumbs up, that helps too. So you let those little minions in YouTube land know that things are going good. So, all right, very fun. Very fun. Well, every night we're going to do just a really quick update. As you guys know, we are missionaries with Eternal Impact, and we want a little family update. People want to go. So just a couple minutes. Jennifer, why don't you give a little what's going on with us?
Yeah, sure. Well, before I do, I just want to do a quick shout out to everybody who was part of our launch team. For the last couple of weeks, they've kind of been our test subjects while we were learning all of this new technology. So thank you. We couldn't be doing this without you. You know who you are. Thanks so much for your help with that. So I would not be a good grandparent if I didn't start a family update with the newest love of my life, our little Miss Lily Jane.
Oh,
there
boy.
she is,
There she
looking
is.
so adorable. Every time I see her picture,
That was yesterday.
I just smile. She makes me smile.
Keep going, family update,
Okay,
Grandma.
she's nearly 4 months old, and we're just loving it. Being grandparents is awesome. Watching Daniel and Alyssa be parents is even better. And the best is at the end of the evening when we're able to hand her back to Daniel and Alyssa.
Amen.
And we go and have a good night's rest, and they get to take over. That's
amazing.
been awesome.
That's a win. Big time.
So when we're not playing around with our little Lily, we have been busy getting our property ready. As you know, we're going to be moving into a fifth wheel, and maybe some of you don't know that. There's so much going on, but we're preparing our property to live in a fifth wheel so that John and I can be more mobile while we're looking for our next retreat space.
And there you are in
And
the picture.
there I am, and
you're
that
in
is the
front of
most hideous picture. I don't know
Hey,
why.
But come on. You're in front.
don't know
By
why
this
you did
weekend, that will be carved out RV pad, and it's going to be amazing. So good job. What's up next?
Yeah, so, and then we are getting our house ready, because a lot of you are probably wondering, okay, well, if you're moving into a fifth wheel, are you selling the house? No, we're not selling the house. We're actually leaving the house in charge with Sam, and he is going to be inviting 4 other Christian dudes to move in, and we're calling it the Shiloh Homestead, and they're going to create kind of a discipleship house here, and we're renting those rooms out for a couple years while John and I figure out our next location. So lots going on. Be sure, and check out the website. This is just a snippet of some of those things, but a lot of it is being talked about through our newsletter and online at our website.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the key is go to the website, right? Because
For all
everything's
of this,
on
yeah.
there. Yeah, everything's on there. And, you're wondering, like, why are you moving? What are you doing? I mean, all of that kind of stuff's there. It talks about our New Day campaign. It talks about the retreat space, the retreat home that we're going to be developing for pastors and Christian leaders. Talks a lot about that. And so, check it out, and that will be great. Okay. Tonight, the show is called The Adventure Begins. I mean, well, that's why, because this is the first one. I mean, we, it's like
It's beginning.
and we were scared. I mean, I still kind of am. It's like, it's
I know.
live.
I
so
get
you
really
can't,
sweaty sitting
yeah, you
here.
can't
It's
take
like,
anything back. It's like,
I know.
you
It's
want
like for
to,
the whole world.
oh, so brutal.
I'd
So
much rather have you in my living room face to face.
we're trying to think of it like that. We're trying to think of welcoming you in, and we're together. But, we're going to say things. We're going to do things. Someone's going to, be offended at something and, probably want to cancel us because we said something live. But that's the way it is. But tonight we're going to talk about, the subject is going to be the Live It Out lifestyle. So I'll get to that in just a minute. But just to let you know the housekeeping, a little bit of what the show is going to be like. Really, it's 1 hour. It'll be kept into 1 hour. There'll be interviews that we'll be doing. We're looking forward to that. We're going to be interviewing leaders in particular that are in the practice of living out the gospel in the marketplace and their family. But really, we're also going to be interviewing some retreat leaders that do soul care and leader care, similar to where we're recalibrating towards. And so we're going to be sharing over the year interviews with people that are doing it well. And so you'll see them. It'll be good. We're going to do some table talk, Q&A even tonight when I'm sharing about the Live It Out message. You're going to have an opportunity. Put questions in there. If you have, again, the queue, if you have a question, put it in there. If you have a comment, just place it. But we're going to have that opportunity to interact. But it's going to be relaxed, it's going to be interactive, and it's going to be raw. We're not here to be famous. We're not here to have the best dialed in audio, video, and technology. We want it to be clean, and we want it to be good, and we want everyone to be able to interact. We want it to be quality from that standpoint. But we're not here to impress you. We're here to love you. We're here to listen through the comments and the messages that come to us, after the show or through a restream. And we're here to serve you. So that's what this is about. It's a labor of love, and we're excited to be a part of it. So it's engaging, but your comments and your interaction is important. And if you find that it's going to be a good experience, that it's a great place to come and to learn to grow in faith, then you know what? We're going to pass it on to others. We're going to share with others, invite them into this circle and to be a part of the Live It Out live stream. So.
And as we go through, I mean, we're kind of learning the flow of everything. And I told John the other night, it's kind of like when you move into a house and you unpack your kitchen and you've put your silverware in this drawer and your spices in this drawer. But when you start working in the kitchen, you realize, no, this needs to be tweaked or shifted and belongs over here. And so the flow of all of this is going to catch on over time. But it's just fun to get it started finally.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good example because, you think you got it dialed, but then you got to move things around to be functional. And we'll do that. We'll do that within this time. I mean, we're even looking right now. I'm looking at the clock. Oh, we're 4 minutes, off of our schedule. It's like, okay, well, we'll just
imagine
keep
that
going
we're
and
running
catch
late.
Catch up. Hey,
Whoa.
every night we want to thank people for the sponsors, and we don't have current sponsors. Eventually, we'll probably have some folks that come on, some business and that help sponsor. But our main sponsor is Eternal Impact. And so we want to say a big shout out and a thank you to all of those who support Eternal Impact. We're a 501c3 ministry organization. Jennifer and I are employed through them, are missionaries with Eternal Impact. And if it was not for the champions and those that supported, we could not do this or any of the other ministries that we participate in throughout the year. So thank you so much. We want to just say thank you to the sponsors, which are those that support Eternal Impact. Appreciate you a ton. Mm-hmm. We also want to do a 2-minute ministry spotlight. And so, Jennifer, give us the 2-minute version, 2-minute spotlight.
On your mark, set, go. Okay, well, first and foremost, it's pretty obvious, the live stream. That's the biggest one. For the last month and a half, we've been preparing for that. It's been pretty consuming, but it's been a lot of fun getting ready, and we're looking forward to this journey. We're also spending a lot of time recalibrating as we look for a new retreat space. John and I are planning a lot of traveling again, and we're going to be prototyping retreats, and we're going to be getting some training towards that. So that's an exciting season we're in. Another big thing is at the Epicenter, we've had a lot of changes there. As many of you know, we had said goodbye to some of our campus partners, Missio Dei Church, as well as Adventurous Life have said goodbye for now. And so we're actually in the process of looking for some new campus partners down at the Epicenter in downtown Oregon City. So we'll see who God brings next for that leg of our ministry. And then, as I said earlier, we've got our house, the Shiloh Homestead, and how that's going to be a little piece of our ministry as well, bringing in these young Christian men and giving them an opportunity to have some Christian community to live in. And the other thing, I think the biggest one for me personally, a year ago I was driving a bus and working for the city of Oregon City, driving seniors around, and now, a year later, I have said goodbye to that job, and I'm just diving in full-time with Eternal Impact, and I'm in a huge learning curve, learning all this technology and having a blast working with my best friend here on retreats and in the office. And so, yeah, it's been good, really, really good.
Cool. Well, pretty good. That's what's going on. But as we said earlier, just check out the website, eternalimpact.org. If some of this is like, what? This is what you guys are doing? This is where you're at? Hey, check out the website, eternalimpact.org. You can see in there everything about the New Day campaign. There's updates from clear back, a year ago. And every month there is a newsletter that goes out via email or in the mail if you request it. So all you got to do is sign up there on the website, and all the details will be to you, and you'll get updated all the time. So we love that. And many of you are already doing that, and you receive or are part of that support team. But that's all you got to do is just get on the website, and you'll know more of the ins and outs of what's happening. Hey, a couple of little comments that came up here. Ben said, Sam in charge, scary. Yeah, a little bit, but he's almost 20. And so this is his time. He's going to be going to school, looks like for law enforcement, and, working on that degree while also working, full time. And so, yeah, that'll be fun. Hey, watching from Korea. What,
Wow.
Roxy? I didn't think you guys
Hi,
were in
Roxy.
Korea right now. Last time I thought it was Salt Lake, but maybe you're visiting. I don't know. You have to send us an update as to what's going on there. So very, very fun to see you from there. So that's really great. Well, listen, we do a shout out every week. Oh, wait, am I in the right spot? I want to make sure where we at.
Talking about.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I'm there. I'm at the spot.
There.
Oh, good.
You made it.
Well, hey, and we're back on track, I think, time-wise. We're going to be all right. So here's what I want to talk about tonight. Tonight, I want to share with you about the Live It Out lifestyle. So many of you that have been around Eternal Impact before, you know, you've heard the phrase, our motto, Live It Out. But tonight we really want to dig in a little bit about what that means and then have a little bit of conversation. If you've got insight, you may have some things that you want to say, put them on the thread. We want to hear about them. But I want us just to think about this idea of living out the gospel. So live first. Let's think about that. God gave life to everything. It says in the beginning that he created. Now, we don't have to get stuck in the weeds as to the timing and the details and all that, but it's clear in Scripture that God created. He gave life. So even in the morning, and I'm outside and we have a beautiful backyard, with lots of trees and a spot, and I'm just seeing the birds and the nature, all of that, all life throughout history has been originated and given to us from God. Well, we see in Scripture that there's also spiritual life that's given to us. He gives us, it says in John chapter 10, a life that is more abundant than just breathing and living and being a part of this cosmos that he has given us. He said that he loves the cosmos. John 3:16 says he loves the world. That word in the Greek is cosmos. He loves it so much that he gave himself for it so that we could have eternal life, a new life. He even used the term in the book of John, born again, which is it's a life word. It's that idea that we are given not just physical life, which is beautiful. I mean, as we're looking at pictures of Lily and thinking of the birth and, all that stuff, life is beautiful. I was in an accident several years ago, and I carry with me some scars and things from that experience. But the truth is I've got life, and it's beautiful. Even if there's pain and there's challenge, it's still a beautiful thing to be able to have life. And so life is what God calls us to, but not just breathing oxygen, but to a new life, a fresh life, what the Apostle Paul calls a new creation. And so that is a spiritual life that's beyond the physical. And so living is core to the gospel. And speaking of the gospel, it is the gospel. When we say live it out, what are we living out? We're living out the gospel. The gospel is a beautiful thing. It can be seen really rooted in the first of the 10 commandments. What is that? It says, thou shalt have no other God before you. I saw a t-shirt one time that said, there's two sure things in life. There's a God and you're not it. And it's true. Yeah. You're not God. But it's a battle, isn't it? We are continually trying to rule our own life. It's amazing, the human desire for power and strength and we could go on to that for a long time, just the politics and the carnal nature and all that's there. But the reality is that it is a gospel that says, you know what, John, you're not God. You are created. He is the creator and you are the created. But there is pain and suffering that's come into the world. Okay. We could talk about original sin. We could talk about personal sin. But the reality is there's a sin. There's things that are not God's best. It says, Paul said in the book of Romans in the New Testament, he said that all have sinned. Okay. Sin, that word, hamartia. We have all sinned. We've missed the mark. It's an archery term, meaning, not hitting the bullseye. We've all sinned. We carry with us the baggage and the bondage and the hurt of sin, of stupidity, of rebellion, of tyranny against God. John Garrick does. Jennifer does.
Garrick does.
Yeah, we're rebellious. We're rebellious kids. And God is so gracious, so kind that he looks into our life. He sees us for who we really are. And as we offer ourselves to him, he meets us at that point of grace, of God's grace. And the ultimate of God's grace that we see is through Jesus Christ and his death, his resurrection, really his life, his incarnation, what he did to come and be incarnate, present, to demonstrate for us what it looks like to walk and to really live this life and to offer not just truth, but grace, to give us grace so that regardless of how we come to God, he can transform us and renew us and make us into something new. And so that's the new life. It is the gospel, and it's rooted in God's grace. It's not because I deserve it, and it's certainly not because I've earned it. You know, I am a mess up. But God is gracious. And whether I'm executing my free will in alignment with his gospel or not, he still loves me. He loves his cosmos. He loves his kids. He loves me. And that's it. That is the gospel, and it's rich. So live it and then out. There's this idea that we need to be and have an outward expression of God's love, of his transformation in my life. If everything is true and he's created a life for us to live and experience, and he's given us new spiritual life, and it's rooted in his grace and the work of Jesus Christ, if that's true and we're trying to walk in the ways of Jesus, he clearly calls us to an outward expression of that. Mm-hmm. That faith doesn't just land in our life and just stay resident only in me, nurturing my soul. But no, as my soul is nurtured, as my soul is healed, as I am restored, he calls me to live that life where I live, work, and play. So in other words, it's not just on a Sunday. It's not just if someone's preaching or singing a song. It's not just when they're reading the scriptures. It's not that. That might make us, a little religious and pious, that, that's good. And those are good. Those are all wonderful things. But the reality is that God wants to express his good news to the world through us. It's his plan. And I really want you to know tonight and throughout our time to Live It Out live stream, there's no plan B. You are his plan A. That is it. You and I are plan A. Now, that doesn't mean you have it perfect, because you don't. I don't. Jennifer does not. Hey, here's for imperfection. Here, we're just a couple goons from Oregon City that have been called out to do crazy things like a live stream. And the truth is that it's not just in things like live streams or traveling across the world. We've been very privileged to serve in many different areas. No, it's in the mundane. What a friend of ours, Kari Patterson, calls in her book, sacred mundane. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's sacred in all things. And, all the things we've done. I've been working on sewer lines early this morning when they came. We had to plunge a toilet today.
Wait, a sewer line can be sacred.
Yeah, it is. It's sacred. I had guys working out here on the project. Tomorrow I got track hose and that showing up to do the RV pad. I got to be at the office. Those are just real life things. Real life. And you know what? We're going to do it with whatever comes our way, the challenges, the joys, the victories, the defeats. But it's all sacred. It's all sacred. Sacred doesn't start when you enter into a sanctuary. Sacred starts when you let the sacred being of a living God come into your life and say, you know what? I'm the created. I'm going to let the creator start restoring and doing his work. And then everything is sacred. As a matter of fact, the Apostle Paul, he said that we are actually all ambassadors of reconciliation. That we're called to actually be representatives of God to reconcile the world towards himself. That's profound when you think about it. That God would love me so much, not just to set me free and to let me live by grace and to have a new hope, not just hope for eternity, but hope for today. Eternity starts now. We're in eternity. Yeah. This is it. But he loves us so much, and he gives us that opportunity to literally be his ambassador, his representative. Think about an ambassador to the UN or ambassador to another country. They're representing the country. God loves us so much that he chooses all of us in the mundane, in every aspect of our life, to be his ambassadors. In Matthew chapter 28, a lot of people, have labeled this in the English, the text, they label it the Great Commission. which is fine. That's a cool word, and that it's not a biblical word. That's just what they call this calling that Jesus, he's gathered around, he had risen from the dead. He's gathering his disciples around. It said the 11 were there and many others, Matthew chapter 28, you can check it out. And then I remember this one phrase, Jennifer, that's in there that I always think about. He said, and some doubted.
I think I probably would have been counted among those.
Yeah. I mean, because we all doubt. Doubt is not breaking our hope and breaking our trust or breaking our relationship with God. It's because we don't have all the answers. We're on a journey. We're sojourners. But it said some doubted. I mean, just days earlier, they all denied Jesus. I mean, Peter gets the bad rap, right? But I mean, they all were like, I don't know, they're freaking out. They don't know what to do. Yeah. They're all coming together. Some doubted. And Jesus commissioned them in what we call this commission, which the reason that is because it's not like one person, it's not special people that get called to live out that mission. It's all of us. It's all of us. When we're set free, we are given that privilege.
Wait, it's not just missionaries?
It's not just missionaries. Oh. It's not just pastors. It's not just evangelists. We all are. Now, you may have that gifting, and you may be a preacher or a teacher. You may have giftings around music or, whether introverted, extroverted. You may have different giftings that God will use, but he didn't call just special people to live out the gospel in the sacred mundane. No, he called all of us. All of us. And so I want you to think about that, because this is what it says in Matthew chapter 28. He said, I want you to go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But I want you to catch that one word, that word go. Now, I'm not going to get deep into the Greek because I'm not a Greek scholar. Do not let me even pretend. I got parsing guides and, testaments, all things to help me out, both online and in my library. But I want you just to think about this word go. It's a verb, but it's a participle as well. And it's nominative, but it's plural, okay? And it's masculine. Here's the important word. It's aorist tense. So go this word isn't just like, I want you wherever you are now, I want you to go. I want you to now go. You need to go there. Now, we understand that he said, go to Jerusalem, Judea, and the very ends of the earth. And we understand that. But what that word, what it really is saying is, I want you to be. I want you to think about that. I want you to be my disciples.
That sounds a little easier.
It does. Well, you know what? It actually might be harder. It might be harder because it's easier, isn't it? It's like, okay, well, we're going to get on a plane and we're going to go and we're going to serve people in Zimbabwe or in Uganda or in South America. Or we're going to go and we're going to go over to the inner city and we're going to work. Or we're going to go to a rural area and we're going to do a missions trip. Right? We have trips, we have missionaries, we have those people that do that. But this idea of being, okay, I want you to be my disciples. So go, meaning live your life, both past, present, and future, and heirs. I want you to be my disciples. So I want you to be making my disciples. So wherever you are, and we know we've got a lot of people on here from all over, from Africa to Korea to Atlanta to Arizona to California I'm just, rattling off Washington, Montana, all over the place. And so Charlotte, North Carolina, all these different places, my God, and some in Oregon City. This is great. But the reality is, wherever you are, I just want to look into your eyes. I wish we were in person, but in this live stream, I just want you to catch it. I want you to get it. I want you to know. No matter what you're facing, no matter what challenges, no matter how insecure or weak you may feel about it, because we feel that way. Man, we feel that way about being on a live stream, doing that for sure. But the reality is, if God gives us life in the physical, you can look at Mount Adams or Mount Hood or head to so many beautiful places in the world and just look, wow, God's amazing. He gave us this life. And you know that even in the midst of pain and hurt and wars and rumors and disasters and all stuff, that he gives us spiritual life, that he nurtures our soul, that he says, what good would it be to gain the whole world and forfeit your soul? Mm-hmm. So if he does that, if he gives us life, okay, if he does, and it is given to us through the gospel by grace, because you didn't really deserve it, as religious as you are, as amazing as you are. And quite honestly, I think, to be honest with you, just even some of the friends that are on here that I see are, from years past. I mean, people that I look at and I go, man, I deeply respect these people. I mean, there's some giants in my book.
Yeah.
Some people have known me since childhood, that are on here.
And they're still checking in with us.
Yeah. And the example that they've given and the life that they've lived forward. I am so grateful for my heritage, so grateful for men and women that have set the example. Mm-hmm. But listen to what I'm saying. Please hear me. What they've done, what I've done, what anyone's done, we're not earning anything, for any grace for that. If we were earning, it wouldn't be grace, right? And Christ's sacrifice would be worth nothing. Nothing. We just earn our way. So let's be honest. We need grace. We need it bad. And so I want you to be thinking about that. If it's by grace, the gospel, then no matter what you're facing, he wants you to live it out. Now you may be thinking, man, I'm struggling with exactly how to do that. And that's okay. So are we. We struggle there, hon?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We want to do it where we live. Okay. We want to do it in our home, with our family, with our neighbors. We fail at that. But our aspiration is to live out that gospel, to love, to listen, to serve others. And so in that aspiration, we want to do it where we work, in the office, in the cubicles, the patrol cars, the courtrooms, the executive office, the classrooms, where we work. And where we play, we all do play. And I hope you play. If you don't, you need to. I mean, have some fun.
Hey, I forgot to mention where we're playing.
Oh, yeah, getting ready, Mount Adams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to scale Mount Adams, we hope.
We're going to live it out on the top of Mount Adams.
We'll see. Yeah, we're doing training on that now. We'll see. But it's coming up. But yeah, even that, I mean, we're doing it with people, and where we play, you're all part of areas. Maybe you take a walk, people in your community. Maybe you're part of a pickleball group. Maybe you're, doing sports with your kids, theater, whatever. We play, we do things, we go on vacation. What a great opportunity. We don't have to be preachy. We don't have to, get out there and start quoting scripture verses and that. No, you know what? The gospel's attractive. And so good news is good news. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of bad news out there.
We need some good news.
Bad news. And everyone's trying to work their way and shift and try and get control over someone else or get power over this. Man, it's grace. And so where we live, work, and play. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it over this next weeks, months, years, and we're going to learn.
Dig into it a little bit more.
So that's what it's about. That's what we're doing at the Live It Out live stream. But any comments? I want to, got questions. I'm going to look at the thread. I've kind of not been looking at the thread, Jen. If there's something that comes up, let me know. But I just want to, see other people that are coming on here. I see a bunch of them, but I'm not seeing a lot of comments. If you have comments, put them up there. I really would like to know. And there's about a 10-second delay, just for those of you that don't know. So if we're putting it, if we're saying, hey, where are the comments? And then you're putting it in, and you're saying, wait a minute, I just put the comment up. It takes about 10 seconds from the time we say what we're saying to get to you, and then another few seconds for that comment to get back to us. So right. It's not quite exactly real time, but pretty close.
But we do want to invite you in to the conversation. Mm-hmm. It's not just a time of teaching, although we love all of that too, but we want to invite you guys into it. So if you have comments or questions, join the conversation. So send your comments in.
Yeah, very cool. You know what? And just as one comment's coming, keep putting them in, keep bringing them in. There's going to be one that I'm just bringing up here right now. And Rupak, so fun to have you joining us tonight. He wrote in, greetings, John. Thanks for praying for me when you were in Charlotte, that's Charlotte, North Carolina, when you visited the restaurant that I work at.
I totally remember that.
Yeah, I totally remember that. And
by the way, that was a great meal.
That was a great meal. It was Thai food.
Yeah.
And I do love
Thai or Indian?
Food. It's Thai. Well, it was Thai
good.
Indian. It actually had both. It actually had both. You're right. I think it was Indian. It was Indian, and it was very good.
It was really good.
Yeah, Masaman chicken. But anyway, enough of that.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, I know. Rupak, the reason that it's so encouraging is because you're giving an example that it's where we live. We're were connected to you and said, hey, can we pray for you? If I'm remembering correctly, we prayed for you and found out you were on mission there, and you were literally starting a worship, working at a church, leading worship as one of the worship pastors. And I mean, just how cool.
But he was just working that evening, and yet we still had a great time.
That's right. So it can be at a restaurant where we live, work, and play. It's just all the time. And it's not forced. It's not like, oh man, we got to make sure, I just kind of grew up in a little bit of that, you got to kind of count how many people you're sharing good news with or whatever. I am so past that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to count that stuff.
No, that stresses me out.
Oh man, I got other stuff to count. I got, we got budgets to take care of.
I was going to say like finances.
Yeah, we got all sorts of things we got to count and do and measure, and how many miles did I run and all that stuff. No, I just want to be. I just want to be a living embodiment of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And now I know, and it's important to say this, I know that we fail at that. I know that I still have a sin nature in me. I know, and we could argue whether, we eradicate sin nature 100% or all that. Okay, well, we can talk theologically and that later, and that might be a whole show, that we do on that. But the reality is that we want to be the live it out message. We don't want to have to join some campaign and have people hold me accountable to see how many times I lived out the gospel. Ugh, that sounds yuck.
Like you're stuck under the log.
Yeah, but I have been there. Yeah. I've been there. I think we've been in some cultures, church cultures and things like that have pushed us in that direction, sadly. Mm-hmm. And we have no desire to live there. Mm-hmm. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. We have about 12 minutes left before we finish up tonight. We've got a few things on the agenda. We're going to be doing a giveaway as well for some friend that is out there. But before we do, I just want to double check. I'm looking through the thing. Oh, and my niece is on there from Montana. How cool.
Hey, Kelsey.
Hi, Uncle John. Welcome. And Jennifer. So happy to be tuning in. I am so happy. Yeah, so happy you are as well. And yes, Kathy put in a yum when we were talking about Rupak's restaurant experience. And just so you know, we don't get dinner until 7 p.m., 7:05 or whatever, because after we've got on our schedule, as soon as this live stream is done, we jet down and it's dinner time.
So if John starts salivating towards the end, you know why.
I mean, just her talking about silverware was like, when she's using that silverware example, I'm going, I love the stuff on the end of silverware. So really cool to have you guys in there, here a part of it. So thank you for that.
I see we have a question that came in from Roxy.
Okay, thanks, hon. Why don't you read that?
It says, how have you found ways to share it with your children when they are stressing you out?
Yeah, that is such a great practical mom question.
It is.
So way to go.
There's the sacred mundane right there.
And if someone else has a comment to that, put it up there. I'll let you comment on this too. But for me, Roxy, the thing I love about that question is so important is because that is, I think, and we'll be having our kids, by the way. We have 2 adult daughters, and we have 2 son-in-laws, and we have an adult son, and we'll be having them on the show. We'll be doing interviews and things with them, let them give their perspective. But the truth is that, family devotions or, things like that are one thing, but really what are they remembering is how do we deal with stress? Mm-hmm. How do we deal with anger? Mm-hmm. How do we deal with tough situations? How do we deal with pain? How do we grieve? How do we lament? How do we rejoice? How do we show emotion? How do we respond to their sin and their challenges in their life? And so, I think it's very, very practical. And I just don't like the idea of, if you do these 7 irrefutable laws of parenting, then let me tell you, your kids are going to be amazing. No, I think really it's being willing to say, okay, Lord, is what I'm about to say or do going to express the gospel? I mean, really, is that it? Or do I need to, and there's practical things you could do, breathing, take a breath, put them in timeout so that you can have a timeout.
Yeah, put yourself in timeout.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced I put kids in timeout because I needed one.
I put myself in timeout a few times.
I need it. What else? Any other thoughts that you had on that?
I'm just thinking, just consistency, just being a constant for them. because life is so confusing. They have so much to be processing, but to know that they're secure in you is going to minister to them a lot. And, trying to stay as patient as you can while they're trying to figure things out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, and you used a word there that I do think is pretty important, consistency. Because the truth is we have failed so many times. No, if my kids are listening, we're not going to have a show on all the ways we failed. That would be many shows. But
yeah,
we'll talk about that.
We are not the parenting experts.
Yeah, but we'll be real about that, because the truth is we have 3 amazing kids, 2 phenomenal son-in-laws, and we are so grateful for them, and so grateful to be be parenting them as adults.
Kathy's got
they're amazing. So I just want to encourage you, consistent. And Kathy put on here, which is really cool. Remember when we fail our kids, remember when we fail with our kids to tell them, apologize. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Huge.
Talk about grace with them.
Yeah.
Man, thank you.
Yeah.
That is really good, because not only do we, like she said, have to forgive ourselves. And what we mean by that is come to grips with the fact that we need God's grace. We can't do it without him. And the idea of repenting to them, that is
huge.
That is huge.
That is huge. And some people never hear their parents say, I'm sorry, or ask for forgiveness for anything.
Yeah.
And so modeling that is huge for them.
Yeah, man, that is good. What a great reminder. And Roxy, I hope you were able to hear that, because that is big, because the fact is we're going to blow it. I'm sure you've blown it. I've blown it. Jennifer's blown it. So thank you, Kathy, for that reminder. It is so true. Yeah. Repentance.
And to forgive ourselves, as Kathy's saying, just not only ask the kids to forgive you, but forgive yourself, because we're going to blow it.
Yeah. And keep coming back to the Lord too, because he's so full of grace and mercy on us. Yeah. And it is good to verbalize it, just to verbalize. And boy, I've learned it even later, even more with my son, Sam. There's been so many times when we're working together or we're doing something, and especially in the teen years, and he's not quite doing it the way I'm doing it. And I find myself getting upset, and I've had to 30 minutes later come back to that situation and say, hey buddy, the way I responded just was not good. It did not represent Christ's character. It was more of my flesh. And I was frustrated, whatever, but not to make excuses for it. I just want to ask for your forgiveness. It wasn't cool. Yeah. And, I love him. I want to be reconciled to him too. And I don't want my foolishness to get in the way of that.
And they need to see that we can fail and move on, because then they don't feel like they have to always be perfect either. Yeah. I know I needed to learn that as well. Being a parent wasn't perfect, and I needed to know it was okay.
Well, and my kids got the thumbs up from their cousin, because in Montana, she said, I think they turned out okay. So, but there's a laugh face on there. So you never know. But Rhonda, you're right. Our children are our greatest blessing. And you're right. And the only way that I think it's that way is because of God's grace, not because of my perfection as a dad or Jennifer's as a mom, but God's grace. And just to have the gift, again, another way to see life interacting both in the physical and in the spiritual in them. It's more life. So very cool. Well, listen, you guys, just fun to be with you, fun to hear these questions. I don't know exactly how many, because we don't have, a running count, but there's been about, from the numbers that I've got on here, I guess there's been about 30 people that have been in and out of our time together. And that's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. And I've just got a quick little shout out that we're going to be doing. We're going to do a giveaway, but I just am so blessed to see a guy come up here. He's meant so much to me. And I just want to say, Monty Sear, so cool. It says on here, thanks for the good works, my friend. It's been great being with you tonight. I miss our adventures together. Greetings from Guatemala. So we have another international listener. Monty and Bethany, man, I think and pray for you guys often. You two are doing great work. Look at that beautiful family there, too.
I love your picture.
They're missing Keely, the oldest, isn't in there, but it's all right. Anyway, just a gift to have you joining us. So greetings to you. We just love you. And I see Mary there Mary from California as well. Enjoyed the night. So, hey, don't go away yet, because we have just a couple minutes left, and we would like to do a couple of little things.
Wrap it up with some fun stuff here.
So, okay. So we're going to have a little question and answer. You're going to be able to put the answer up there. Remember, that's an A:. Jennifer, what is the question tonight? And then we will put a randomizer on there and pick someone to win the book.
To win the prize tonight, which John will tell you all about that in a second, answer this for us. What is Eternal Impact's motto? So A:, send that in. And while we're waiting, well, you're going to tell them, what are they going to win, Bob?
What are they going to win? Well, Jennifer, no, I'm happy to tell you what they're going to win. It's pretty cool. But I did have it. Let me see if it's up here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I have a book tonight from a dear friend of mine. And I'm just going to say this, by the way, just so people know, because some people are listening to the show and not watching. Some might get it on what we call a restream. So they're getting it later. It's not live. If you're live, if you're not live, you should be, because it's more fun. You get to win prizes that we're going to give away in just a second.
Yeah.
But we don't always look right at the camera, because as we're doing the show, we've got other screens before us, and we talked about this before. There's a studio here that we're working out of, but we're working really hard to be able to run all this and produce this in a way that we can take it with us. We're trying to be able, when we travel, that every week we can still do the live stream from wherever we are in the world. And so we're looking forward to keeping that up. But I just want you to know, sometimes we're looking down, sometimes we're looking up. So don't worry. We're still engaged. We're still with you. So, okay, the answers are coming in. The answers are coming in. But they're coming. Very good. Keep them coming. We're going to give you just another 1 minute to get those in, and then we will randomize. We will pick someone to do that. By the way, someone's cheating. I bet Hope's cheating, because not only did she put the tagline, she put like our mission on here.
Oh, she went to the website.
She cut and pasted. I'll bet you. Oh boy, she's good.
Hey, while we're waiting for these comments to come in, I think it's time for a dad joke. What do you think?
A dad joke.
Dad jokes.
Dad joke time.
Dad jokes coming from a mom.
You know what though? What I didn't do, hon? I did not
tell them what they were winning.
Yeah, I didn't tell them. And look, that thing came up again. That little thing that has
Joey's back on there.
No, that was from the last one. I messed that up. So yeah, we'll get that out there. But here, let me tell you about the book that you're going to win. So, and they're still coming in. Good job. You guys are getting right answers. It'll randomize in a moment here. Very good. Ooh, there's a couple that didn't get it, but that's okay. It'll pick. Okay. So the book is written by a friend of mine, Jonathan Martin. The book is called Breaking the King Saul Syndrome, and it's the cancerous crown and the cure, giving the kingdom away. It's really a story, a parable, the difference of leadership of Saul versus the leadership of David, and how David, represented the heart of God in his leadership. And so it's a really great little book. Jonathan and Janie also run a retreat space for leaders, Christian leaders. So we'll probably be interviewing them and bringing them on soon. And maybe we'll give one of his other books away that night as well. All right. So we're getting ready to announce the winner. But Jennifer, you had a dad joke? What is it?
Oh, man. Yesterday I couldn't figure out if somebody was waving at me or if it's the person behind me. And in other news, I lost my lifeguard job.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But, okay. So to replace my job, I recently started teaching a math class to short people. I'm calling it Making the Little Things Count.
Okay. Now you're short. Now we just offended all of our short friends.
Come to my math class.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jennifer. How come
You didn't
dad
give me
jokes?
any
I should
applause.
be doing the. You want
You
applause?
didn't give me
What do you want?
any
You want
kudos.
laughter? That was awesome,
That's
honey.
better.
Oh my gosh, yay. Well, that was more like. But that's all right. Anyway, okay, maybe dad jokes. Shouldn't I do dad jokes next time? I'm the dad.
We'll share it.
Okay, we'll share it next time.
I'll share that with you.
All right, it's a deal. Well, you guys, with 1 minute left, we just want to announce the winner. And first of all, we're randomizing right now to see who's going to get the prize. There are several people that got it right. Some got it incorrect, but it is Live It Out.
Woo-hoo.
That's right, Live It Out. And that is the tagline for Eternal Impact. And crazy and congratulations, I want to say, to the winner tonight of the book is going to be, dun, 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 give it to me. Boom, there it is. Roxy Wilson Lee. Congratulations, Roxy. Here's the deal. You just need to personal message us or DM. They call it DM or PMing. I'm not sure which, but just make sure to send us your address, and that book will be out by next Monday. It'll be in the mail to you. And I'm so glad you get to enjoy that. It's a great little read, and look forward to hearing back from you. So, hey, fun. You're in Korea now. If we need to send it to Korea, we will. Not a problem. Or if we are sending it to a U.S. address, if you're here, then when you get back, we'll get it to you. All right?
Something to look forward to when you get back.
Very cool. Well, I just want to say thank you for being with us tonight, everyone. Thank you, friends. Really appreciate it. Until next time, we genuinely pray that the joy of life and the gift of His grace will be tangible in and through each of you as you live it out. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.